We grow up hearing that a land is ancient and wise, that a culture is built on values, restraint, and respect. Our Puranas tell us many things that are meant to guide how we live. Among them is a powerful shloka most of us hear very early in life. That is, Yatra narayastu pujante ramante tatra devata, which literally means wherever women are respected, the divine resides. We say this line with pride. We quote it often. We treat it as a proof that a culture is morally superior. But a sentence repeated is not the same as a value practiced. Because if you look around, take a real look around, respect for women exists more in words than in reality. This video is not about hating India. It's about loving it enough to stop pretending. And whenever this conversation like this starts, someone always has something to say. Like, why should we talk about this? Why dig up the past? Why spoil the image of great people? Okay, now come back to reality. Is talking about this uncomfortable or is living through it? Discomfort may last a few minutes, but the silence lasts generations. And India has practiced this silence very well, especially when power, respect are involved. We are taught history like a photo frame, clean edges, perfect lighting, no cracks visible. But history is not a portrait. It's a house people lived in, and house have rooms that stay locked. One such room belongs to Mahatma Gandhi. Not the statue you see, not the face on the currency, but the human being, Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi himself wrote about what he called his experiments with celibacy. Those were not symbolic ideas, but the ideas which involved young women from his very close circle sleeping beside him to test purity and self control. There is no evidence of sexual intercourse, and that really matters and must be said clearly. But morality is not about sex, it's about power, it's about choice, it's about consent. Many of these women were young, many dependent on him completely, emotionally, financially, and socially. Gandhi himself admitted that several of them were uncomfortable and reluctant. Senior leaders of the freedom movement strongly objected. They called it a mistake, some called it unnatural. Still, the system did not protect the women, it protected the image. What is disturbing is not that Gandhi believed this was spiritual. Human beings convince themselves of many things. What is disturbing is that an entire ecosystem of educated men, followers, and institutions reframe women's discomfort as sacrifice. This is what matters, and this is where reverence becomes dangerous. When questioning a man is treated as betraying a nation, when loyalty matters more than agency, when silence is called respect, this is not about one man. Gandhi is not an exception, he is just an example over here. Across centuries, the pattern repeats. Powerful men define morality. Women are asked to adjust. Kings with many wives were praised as strong. Women who questioned harm were labeled as immorals. Saints were forgiven. Survivors were erased. We built a culture where male self control is celebrated even when it depends on female endurance. And before anyone says this is ancient history, please look around. A legislator standing in public says, if rape is inevitable, lie down and enjoy it. He laughs. Other laughs. This sentence did not come from nowhere. It came from a society trained to soften violence with jokes. A society that teaches women to endure and men to excuse. We see it when victims are asked what they were wearing. We see it when character is questioned before harm. We see it when silence is advised in the name of dignity. A society that never learned to question its saints will never question its lawmakers. We like to believe these are isolated incidents, bad apples, slips of tongue, but slips only happen on the surface that are already smooth. After independence, India needed heroes, clean ones, simple ones, because complicated truths were inconvenient. Grey areas made people uncomfortable, so textbooks chose inspirations over honesty. But history that is sanitized does not educate, it anesthetizes. Respect does not require blindness, gratitude does not demand silence. This is not a call to cancel history, it is a call to stop worshipping it. We can honor contributions without executing harms. We can admire leadership without surrendering our conscience. Culture is not weakened by the truth, it is strengthened by it. And now come back to the line we began with. Yatra narayastu pujante ramante tatra devata. If the God truly resides where women are respected, then the question is not about where the God lives, but where we have failed to make space. Thank you.